Dave is finally back from meditating in India, and it is playoff time. Let's break down all the action from last week and the predictions and a look forward going ahead with both the consolation bracket. Hit that intro.
Welcome to the Chuck and Dave pod.
I'm Chuck.
I'm Dave.
Here's the pod. Apparently we gave people a sneak peek.
Yes, we did.
Wasn't awkward. That's exactly how we intended it to be.
Feels good to be back.
It's about time now. How exactly, how was the Amazon rainforest?
You know, it was all right. All right. Yeah. Found some good drugs.
Oh, the rainforest is where the drugs are, huh?
Well, it started off as we were pinning ourselves to trees to stop the deforestation, but
that's what I thought. Yeah,
thing leads to another. You meet Aaron Rodgers, and you start doing some peyote and some whatever he was doing.
Well, I mean, he would have just recently been down there over his bye week, I'm sure. So.
Yeah. It was a good time.
That makes sense. Yeah. Well, welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
I just want to apologize for never getting my last video up last week. It just would not load. It was too big. And that had all, of course, the meaty stuff, the look forward and the picks. But don't worry. Dave went 0-4 and I went 4-0. So
I did not go 0-4. Just but I didn't do too well, that's for sure.
Well, we are officially in fantasy football playoffs.
That awkward moment you appear on screen and say nothing. Thanks. We're working out the kinks, Josh.
And we are kinky.
We are kinky. Working out the kinks. Trying to. I actually am. I'm just using this software. It's not perfect. I am trying to putz around with some new software that would up our resale value.
We'll have. We'll have been doing it. We'll be veterans by next season.
Yeah. So hopefully that might be something in the future, but we'll see. I'm not in any rush. So
we can take 4 or 5 seasons to get the hang of it. That's fine.
For those who do notice, I was sick last week. I was not in the rainforest. I was very had the flu, so still dealing with some of the congestion and stuff. So if I sound like
that,
I got plug nose, it's because I do. But anyways, let's get into it. It's playoff time.
Let's talk about the last week of the regular season action.
I know. Exciting.
Which we covered over half of, because I believe we started in the background. I believe we started in the 8th week of the regular season after everyone had played each other once. 8th or 9th week we started. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's probably I think we basically did halfway through.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, we had 4 matchups last week, and honestly only one team really took off big in any of the matchups. So we'll start with the Polecats 122 versus the Hurricanes 101. I can tell you, as the Polecats, there was points where I was getting pretty scared looking at the projections. It started with a 136, and then pretty quickly it was just going down. And it ended up, it had a projection of like 101 at some point, and I was pretty nervous at that point, but it did pop back. Of course, Jonathan Taylor, the newly acquired running back from the McFlurries, out for the rest of the season. He did put up several great performances to help lift the Polecats to the top seed, but definitely that one that he put up this week, I'm sure he's just as upset about it. But that happens. Injuries happen. So far, the Polecats have been pretty lucky with not really having any injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just kind of hate to see it happen. the week before the playoffs.
Sucks to happen right before. I was actually really surprised. I was like, holy moly, Chuck is not scoring 150 points this week.
No, I see the Polecats still did score the second highest.
Yeah.
So that's what really matters is comparing. Mm-hmm. Of course, the one team I didn't beat is the one I'm playing this week, but it did clinch the top seed for the Polecats just by winning. That was going to happen, but just for good measure, Todd lost as well, which we will get to later. But the top seed, 12 wins, which, by the way, sets the record for the most wins in a regular season, and it ties the record for the most wins in an entire season for our recorded history and probably our full history, honestly, because most of the time when you go back to when we had bigger leagues, people weren't exactly winning more often. The last 2 times we had 12. If the Polecats lose out in the playoffs, they'll be tied with you and Jordan from 2017, who ended with 12 wins, and Jordan in 2021 had 12 wins. So Jordan's got 2 of those on there. Honestly, the Hurricanes could have won if they were better at managing. If they had put David Montgomery and Aaron Jones in, they would have won. And I don't know why both of those guys are sitting on the bench.
Yeah, especially I don't know why he's been going with White from the Tampa Bay. He's not a very they just haven't been a solid run team. Alvin Kamara's sitting down there too. It's just like Latavius.
I don't know.
I mean, granted, Latavius Murray, I would not have put him in, and it worked out for him. But
Montgomery and Jones, especially both Aaron Jones and Dylan, were on people's benches this last week. And going against the Rams defense, I just don't really know why people did that. But
yeah.
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
With that, the Hurricanes also lose any chance of having a winning season.
Yep. No more.
So that's kind of that part there. The Jonathan Taylor was supported by some breakouts by a few other players on the Polecats. Jalen Hurts put up a 36, which really helped propel the team back up higher in the points ranking there. But overall, kind of a low-key match. The Hurricanes really never did anything, never really much of a threat. So unless you have something else to say about that.
No, I mean, that's pretty much, you covered it all.
Well, next up, we had the Embrace the Suck winning with 101 to the Suck Stops Cheers 84. Just further padding Embrace the Suck's points against lead.
The guy, man, Josh, you are the freaking luckiest.
Yes, he is.
Freaking team in the freaking world. Like, it's just, it's insane to think how little points he scored and how many times he's won.
Yeah, so Josh, obviously at the end of the regular season here, has the lead for the least points against. I don't know. I guess.
Better be lucky than good, I guess.
Only 1,489 points scored against him, which is an average of he had 1,564, which is an average of 104 points against him each week.
Yeah. That's
even the nincompoops could have a winning record.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess it could be better to be lucky than good, but when that luck runs out or you go against someone tough. However, he's not going to be breaking the record. The record for the least points against was set last year by Josh. But I think going against 2 playoff teams in the next 2 weeks, he's not going to be able to stay on pace with that.
No.
But he could break the record average. But yeah, I wrote down here, Josh keeps getting softballs lobbed to him home run derby style.
Yeah.
Anyways, he does sweep Jordan. He's the only one to get 3 victories against a player this year.
That's pretty good.
So I think
surprising,
and
actually.
he played Jordan. Those two played each other 3 times last year, plus in the championship. So in the last 2 years, they played each other 7 times, and I believe Josh has won 5 of those 7. So he's got Jordan's number.
Yeah,
except in championship games.
That's right. That's right. He lost last year.
So I wrote perhaps this was some revenge for the championship game, but I don't know that scoring 101 points can be considered revenge as much as Jordan just losing.
Yeah.
Harder. I can't say this. I'm not sure what made Jordan start Jeff Wilson at the flex instead of Dylan sitting on his bench.
I think he just didn't think that Dylan was going to do anything, or he just didn't pay attention.
But look at Jeff Wilson. The last 3 weeks together, he scored like 4 points total.
Yeah, when did he pick him up? Added to the position to game 20. Added by the suck stops here November 27th. He picked him. So he picked him up after that. He had that big 21-point game, and yeah, he hasn't done anything since.
Oh, he was chasing points with him, huh?
Yeah. Think about it. You put Dylan in, and he wins. He has Dylan in, and he wins.
Mm-hmm. It's just poor management.
I mean, yeah, there's some also strange choices like. You've got, I guess maybe if you're looking at matchups, I'm thinking like, why are you putting Joshua Palmer in there who was supposed to get 6 points?
Yeah.
And then you have DJ Moore on there who was supposed to get like 8.5 points.
I mean, he probably could have just gone to the waiver wire and found a wide receiver that was going to get more than 6.
Yeah.
Also, I'm not sure that Likely has done a whole lot for him as tight end. What's he got? A 2.9, a 0, a 5, a 0, and a 1. And he keeps putting him in over Cole Kmet.
Yeah. He has Cole Kmet and he has Darren Waller.
Well, Waller, yeah. Yeah.
And Waller's been injured for like ever. So I get why he probably didn't put him in, but I don't know. There was missed opportunity.
That's how you get to a 4-win season.
Missed opportunity.
Playing like that.
I mean, Josh, obviously, I don't know what the heck he's doing with Kittle on his bench. And
that was another questionable
TJ Hawkinson. I mean, Hawkinson's been doing all right, but when you got George Kittle,
there's like 3 tight ends in a good year at all. And he is one of them. And it doesn't matter. You don't start someone else over that.
Yeah. I mean, I understand why he started him this week.
The games matter more now. He was playing down to Jordan's level.
Yeah. Now, granted, Kirk Cousins, I get why you maybe didn't, although he's been scoring a lot of points. He's not the greatest quarterback, but he scores a lot of points.
Well, they're not going to play the Colts every week.
That is true. Well, and they're not going to get into a situation where he has to throw 460 yards passing.
Has Kittle been iffy? I guess, yeah, the last 3 weeks before this week.
Kittle has been iffy, but I just can't imagine that. I don't know.
But I mean, Hawkinson was 6, 7, and 5, so it's not like. I mean, I'll give him the Kittle. Tight end is tough, man. I wish sometimes, like not this year because I have Travis Kelce, but I wish sometimes that you just didn't have that tight end spot in there and it was just another flex because there's so few tight ends that can actually do something that when somebody gets that tight end, it just leads to domination in that category. So
Jordan was telling me that in his league, they don't have kickers.
Really? I guess kickers are relatively unpredictable. There's some leagues that have 2 quarterbacks.
He does. They have 2 quarterbacks, and they have 3 wide receivers.
Even on an 8-team league, though, if there were 16 quarterbacks being started,
that'd be bad.
that'd be tough. That'd be tough.
So actually, I just want while
Commissioner-
the commissioner is in here, I want to ask him a question. Josh, be listening, because this is on the docket. But you know, Josh has a tendency to just like he's gonna go play Fall Guys in like 10 minutes. So he may not be listening. Josh, are we clear on the consolation rules? As in,
Sam is the number 1 pick.
Sam's getting the number 1 pick. I would actually be okay with 2 flex and no T tight end. Although I mean, yeah. We need it, but back to the thing at hand. Josh, answer in the comments if you are still here.
Oh, he is.
Consolation bracket is not going to be indicative of the starting.
Let's word this better. The current seeding of the regular season is what established the first 4 picks.
The first 4 picks, yeah.
Yeah.
Not the
first pick is Sam, second pick is Jordan, third pick is Dave.
So right now, the consolation bracket is basically meaningless. It's not going to affect the seeding.
We need to find something. We need to find a reward for the 5th place team. Something to spice it up. I don't know what it would be, but they should get some sort of a benefit.
Maybe they get not that it even matters, but like you could say they get the number 1 waiver wire. They'll be number 1 in the waivers
for week 1. Or they get the first. I mean, I don't think enough people actually use the waiver wire through the waivers this year. Everybody mostly just kind of picked teams up. I'm interested in the whole 2 flex and no tight end, but I think that's a conversation for the kind of end of year looking forward pod. So we'll write that down.
Yeah.
Write that down. All right, back to the recap. I think our most exciting results. The Nincompoops 113 over the Bulldogs 100. Yay.
Wow. Congrats.
Finally, after 11 losses in a row, a record which may never be touched.
I hope not.
I don't know how it really could, honestly. It has to be something like someone have to start losing in week 2 or lose all the way through after week 3.
Yeah. Congrats, Sam.
He was 2-1 after week 3, and then he loses 11 in a row.
2-1,
and some of them so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought for sure there was a way that he was going to lose this one.
Well, when you have your tight end put up,
put up
0.
Yeah, he could have. He could have gone even bigger with his score. So this was actually the Nincompoops' 4th highest score of the year. And an interesting tidbit about those 4 high scores: 3 of his 4 highest scores came when he played the Bulldogs.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
He really plays.
He played him hard.
That's his rival.
His rival is Todd. His highest score, however, came against you in week 2 when he won with a 158. I think somehow he got to 158. I don't know how he did that, but.
So you're telling me that there's part of the reason why I stink so bad and why I didn't win is because Sam put up a 158 against me.
Yeah, I think you've had some bad luck at times. For sure. Sam actually scored for the regular season. He was the 5th highest scoring team.
I think,
so
a lot of it was
the unluckiest player.
Yeah.
Unluckiest for sure, because he didn't even have the most points scored against him, I don't think, but he just, when he hit him,
Yep.
So the Bulldogs failed to get to 12 wins, which kept them from tying the Polecats. Several disappointing results in their team this week, the Bulldogs.
mean, quite a few anomalies. I mean, Stefan Diggs with 32 points, only scoring 7 with a 32 score. Like, that's just an anomaly. Miles Sanders,
The defense, Buffalo doing so
poorly against Miami. Justin Tucker only scoring 6.5 points.
Mm-hmm.
He really his go-to guys really struggled. Although I will say across the board, I think most people's go-to guys struggled.
Yeah, it was a down week in general. Like I said, my 122 was the second highest scoring this week, and the third highest was Sam actually with 113.
Yeah.
So it just some weeks are like that where just scoring is down across the board, and then there's some weeks where you got multiple players topping 130. The Nincompoops also halted a season sweep from the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs winning them 3 wins over the Nincompoops this week. So congratulations to the Nincompoops and their hard work.
They finally overcame.
Didn't sabotage themselves. They did overcome. And our last matchup was the highest scoring team and the biggest blowout of this week. The Fighting Fergals 133 over the McFlurries 110. Fergals brought their top team again, which has kind of been the story of the Fergals this year, is which Fergals will show up.
Yeah.
But they did. They still, unfortunately, had to settle for the 4th seed because Jordan doesn't know how to run a team.
It's true. Yeah, I honestly, again, like, the only thing I may have been able to do was
Juwan
Johnson's versus Mark Andrews. That makes absolutely no sense.
But I mean, they still wasn't. Lamar wasn't starting still, right? Last week, Lamar Jackson. I don't think he started last week.
Lamar was not starting. No, he was not.
So he did have a backup quarterback throw into the tight end.
Yeah, but this is the same backup quarterback who like could have been a starter because he filled in last year and everyone thought he was going to be like, the second coming of Lamar Jackson. It almost seemed. Now, granted, that was playing the Packers, where the Packers have a history of just deciding that they don't want to play well against backup quarterbacks. But yeah, no, I didn't think this was a game that I was going to win.
No, it would have been great.
I didn't even pick myself because it was just like Kara's team's a little just too much of a. She's got too much power. Like my patchwork of a team that I got is just, it requires everything to run exactly right. Like Tony Pollard has to be the one scoring touchdowns. Joe Mixon has to like somehow I have to have Joe Mixon score a gajillion, almost impossible. Because either you're going to run the ball or you're going to throw the ball. And then Christian Watson has to play well. And yeah, I have very few people on my team that I'm like, go to guarantee double-digit points.
Yep.
Seems like Nick Folk seems to be my only like reliable, like,
he'll be there for you
guy. I mean, I got 16, 11, 17, 21.
You want a good kicker to come from a team that can't score touchdowns. So Kara picked up her 4th biggest blowout award of the year to finish the regular season. And I got to say, I was a little bummed because the Polecats were only 1.4 away from getting their 7th biggest blowout of the year.
Really?
Which really wouldn't have felt that big of a blowout, but it could have been. I just want to read off the biggest blowout award winners going backwards.
Okay.
We have the Fergals, the Bulldogs, Polecats, Fergals, Embrace the Suck, Polecats, Bulldogs, Polecats, Fergals.
Wait, I didn't get. Did the McFlurries get in there?
You never won the biggest blowout award.
What?
Nope.
Not even when I had the.
I only didn't read off the first 3 weeks, which were Embrace the Suck, Nincompoops, Over You, and Polecats.
No, I swear. Hang on.
You have 3 losses.
To biggest blowouts?
Yeah.
No, I.
You're probably trying to think of that week you got like the 148, but
Yeah.
I had more than you that week.
That was one when I played Jordan and I got 143. What about when I beat the Nickenpoops in week 9?
Wasn't enough.
I had 43 points.
Week 9 went to the Fergals, who won by 74 points.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh my gosh. That's frustrating.
You were on the losing end of the biggest blowout when I beat you by 103.6, if you'd like to go relive that.
When was that?
That was week 5 when I scored 195 and you got 91.
Oh yeah. I don't even know how that's possible.
No matter what happens in these playoffs, I'll always have that.
That you almost scored 200 points?
Almost.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was brutal. Box
Good
score.
times.
I forgot about that. I gotta read that box score. Oh yeah, Jalen Hurts 27. Josh relive it.
Relive that. I think we need to have at the end of the year, we need to have like a top
Gabe
best
Davis.
moments.
I don't even know if you have Gabe Davis. Is Gabe Davis even on your team anymore?
Yeah, he's just been on the bench. He doesn't do much.
He scored you 29 points. Austin Eckler got you 37 points. Saquon Barkley 21. Travis Kelce had 32.
Kelsey had like 4 touchdowns.
Dallas got you 24 points. Oh my gosh. Like it's just gross.
I need to go back to that week and figure out what the most possible points was to even get that week and how close I was.
All right.
Anyway, that's the flashback. I think it's time to wrap up this regular season and start looking at the playoffs.
Regular season is done.
I have a couple of things to say at the completion of the regular season. First of all, Josh and Charlie have now tied Sam for the most playoff appearances with 5.
Really?
Yes. Again, everything comes from what I call the record era. I'm hoping that we can get together at some point in the offseason, or probably several points, so I can really start getting down those records from the lost years.
Okay.
Farther back. But this goes back only to 2016 right now. If the Polecats finish 4th, the Bulldogs 3rd, and Embrace the Suck 1st, we will have 3 12-win teams.
That'd be pretty crazy. Although crazy. that means you'd have to lose twice.
I mean, I would lose both, yes. I wouldn't like that, but I guess it'd be a nice look. So top seed award goes to the Polecats with a 12-3 record. Worst record, obviously, the Nincompoops 3-12. Points for the Polecats scored 2,124. If the Polecats just score 42 more points, they will set the record for the most points in a year. So they have 2 weeks to average 21 points each week to do that. The lowest amount of points went to the Suck Stops here with 1,489, averaging 99, probably leaving 200 points a week on his bench. However, the record will remain held by Todd from 2018 when he averaged 89 points a week. And then most points against is you with an average of 123 points a week against you.
Sounds about right.
The Nincompoops can only tie for the most losses. If they lose out, they'll have 14, which will match Todd from 2019. So that's what I have as a little bit of a recap of the end of the year here. Before Now, as we talk about the playoffs, I think we should start by talking about the consolation bracket.
All right.
Move on. Now, there's some things I wanted to say last week that did not get up there about the consolation bracket. So we got 4 teams. We got Dave, Sam, Jordan, and Rich going the consolation bracket. Now, I'll start with this. Sam actually has the worst playoff winning percentage of the 4, which surprised me.
Really?
He has a 46% playoff win rate. He is 6-7.
I would have expected him to be a lot more because I remember him being a lot more dominant.
I remember the one year he dominated, got the first seed, and then lost both games. And I believe that was the year you won.
I remember that.
So he's had bad luck there. Jordan is third of the four. He's got a 54% win rate. He's 7-6. Now here's a caveat here. Dave is second with a 64% win rate of 9-5. But again, you tanked both of them last year, which means that if you didn't have
I could be 11-3.
Well, even if we take those out, you were 9-3 coming into last year. You could be as high as 11-3. Yes. If you had gone, but now you probably wouldn't have. Your team sucked last year, but you could have. And that Rich is the highest one. He is 3-1 in the playoffs with a 75% win rate. He's only lost one playoff game in his career.
So percentage-wise,
75%, which is odd because he sucks in regular season, but then he gets against other sucky teams and he wins.
Yeah. Josh says
consequences for the record books.
Consequences. I have been reminded of that, Josh, but I still stand by my decision, even though I traded away my first round pick. The number one pick in the draft this year is on Chuck's team.
Well, he's not helping anybody in the playoffs. So
yeah, that's true.
And I don't know. Maybe he would have lifted you to one more win. I don't think he would have got you to the playoffs, though.
No. Maybe you got me.
Interesting. I believe I posted this on the Discord, but this is the greatest discrepancy between 4th seed and 5th seed that we've had in the record era.
Thanks for being proud of me, Josh.
That's big coming from the commissioner.
It is.
Although, honestly, he probably shouldn't be saying something like that publicly. He shouldn't be picking sides. Anyway, when looking back, the last winners of the consolation brackets, going back these past 6 years. Last year, Rich. 2020 was Jordan. 2019 was pre-Rich. 2018 was Josh. And then
pre-Rich. What's pre-Rich?
The person whose name we don't talk about but came before Rich.
Oh, yeah. They who shall not be named.
And then 2017 and 16, I didn't really know how to call it because they didn't really have a consolation bracket since they had buys and only like a couple of teams not making it. If we move into 16 playoffs next year, that would kind of make the consolation brackets weird. Again, too, like that. But Rich is going for, if he wins, he gets the winningest consolation bracket award. So let's look at the actual matchups here. We've got number 5 Hurricanes versus the number 8 Nincompoops.
My notes, I say, does anyone even care about this matchup?
I
don't even know if Sam cares about this matchup.
I think Sam wants to win. I think Sam wants 5th seed, or the 5th place finish.
Interesting.
I think he wants to show that his team could overcome and that it was just an aberration that he lost 11 in a row.
Oh, Sammy, man. I'm sorry.
How great would that be if he has that kind of regular season and then wins out in the playoffs?
Well, let's look at the matchup, I guess.
Well, we can talk about the matchup for sure. What are your thoughts?
109 to 99. That's solid.
So if we're talking about these two teams,
I'd almost consider putting Tua in there.
Over Allen?
I know it's tough. Josh Allen has not been playing well, but it is against Chicago.
Got a 33 last week.
Chicago. But Tua, man, the Packers have been giving up a lot of points to.
Yeah, but Chicago gives up a lot of points too.
Yeah, that's right. That's true.
So the Hurricanes have lost 5 of 7 and have only topped 110 once in those past 7. The Nincompoops have finally won and have a 101-point average in the past 5 games. However, the Nincompoops tend to do poorly against the Hurricanes. But the Hurricanes tend to do poorly in general. I'll tell you this. Sam needs to put in Tampa Bay's defense.
Yeah, you cannot play San Francisco.
And look who Tampa's
Like,
playing.
Washington
Tampa's
is going to get smoked by Mr. Irrelevant.
And Tampa's playing somebody that they're going to dominate.
Arizona.
Yeah, they got their third string quarterback in.
Dude, Tampa will
have to start
stomp them.
He's going to get some big points off of that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The last times these teams played, the Hurricanes won 7-63, and then week 14 was the Hurricanes winning 79-77. I believe that was one of the weeks that Sam got negative points to pop him down enough to lose. All time, Rich has 4 wins and Sam 2, which surprises me because Sam has historically been pretty good. So I would have thought better. These two teams have never met in the playoffs before. In fact, only one of our playoff matchups this week have ever met before in the playoffs.
Me and Jordan.
Yep. And that's just crazy to me. But we have this big shakeup. Generally, Todd has been in the consolation bracket.
Yeah.
In there. And so this is kind of a different take to things there. Their playoff records, Rich is 3-1, as we said, but he has not lost since round 1 of 2020. Sam 6-7. He last won in round 2 of 2021, so just last year. I don't know. It's Sam's second time in the consolation bracket. It's Rich's third time. I don't know. It's close, but I'm feeling the nincompoops for the upset.
Really? It's not an upset.
They're the 8th seed again.
Oh, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at projected. I'm like, Sam's projected to win.
I just think the Hurricanes have struggled hard. And the nincompoops, but I just feel like their team looks a little better this week, especially if he puts in that Tampa defense.
Yeah.
And I know he watches this show to get all of his lineup advice.
Yeah, I mean, obviously. Although, no, he doesn't.
What say you?
Do I think Sam? I think Sam's going to win.
You picking the nincompoops too?
Yeah. Rich's team is not good. I'm just looking at this team, and you got Derek Carr, CeeDee Lamb but they're going to be playing Philly, I guarantee, in Philly. So
Philly defense is good.
Oh no, it's not in Philly. It's in Dallas. But either way, like Philly's defense is pretty much shut down. So I do not see CeeDee Lamb scoring a bunch of points unless it's garbage time points. He may. I mean, I think he has a better shot if he puts in like David Montgomery or Aaron Jones or Alvin Kamara, but I don't know if he is going to do that.
Well, if the owner of the Hurricanes, Josh, is watching, he might maybe will make those changes.
That's true. That is true. Sam's
feels like nincompoops to me. I know he finds ways to lose, but I think he might have this one.
Yeah, I agree.
He's had the worst luck of any team this year, and I think that just can't sustain that long.
Yep.
All right, nincompoops all around. The other matchup then, the number 7 Suck Stops Here versus the number 6 Fists of McFlurries.
Yep.
We've got the Sucks coming on a 4-game losing streak, and they've lost 7 of their last 9, averaging 85 points over the past 2 weeks and 101 over the past 4 weeks, with a high score of only 114 in that time. Meanwhile, the McFlurries are on a 2-game losing streak, but they're 4-4 in the last 8 weeks and 108 average in the past 5.
Really, 108 average? That's what my average is? That's what I'm projected.
For the last 5.
That's what I'm projected this week.
Oh, you're right on the average then. I did add this. I forgot to do it for the Hurricanes and nincompoops. The McFlurries have beat 2 playoff teams this year, and the Suck Stops here have beat 1 playoff team this year. In their previous meetings, the Suck Stops here won in week 6, 96-72, And the McFlurries won in week 13, 144-113.
Yeah.
All time, Dave has beat Jordan 6 times, and Jordan has won 5 times. So pretty tight.
Ooh, it's pretty even matchup.
In their single playoff meeting, this is their second playoff meeting, you won. And then your current playoff records, you're 9-5. Jordan is 7-6. Your third time, both of you, it's your third time in the consolation bracket. So fairly even stats over the long game. I just don't. I trust the McFlurries more. I wrote, "Why is Jeff Wilson still in over Dylan?"
Especially if Aaron Jones doesn't play, AJ Dillon will be the guy.
I just don't trust the way the Suck Stops here has been doing anything lately. I have to pick the McFlurries.
Well, I appreciate it because I am also going to pick myself there just because,
I think if you run the same schedule 10 times, 9 of those 10 times, the Suck Stops here finishes below the Nincompoops in the regular season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he really
lowest scoring team from champion last year to very near bottom. I would love to see him finish 8th.
I'm just curious where
here's
it
my
went
projection.
wrong. What was his keeper? Aaron Rodgers.
I know
was
he had
his
that last
keeper,
round.
and he's benching his keeper right now.
That hurts.
That's crazy. I mean, I don't have my keeper anymore, but
you got rid of your keeper?
Who was my keeper?
It wasn't.
Kenny State Trill. I don't know who that is.
Start 2 full PPR. Latavius Murray, Najee Harris, Mostert, or I guess we got someone asking a question here. Which of those 2 should we start? Not Mostert. I would say Harris and Murray. Man.
But Raheem Mostert has scorched the Packers in the past. And
well, everybody scorches the Packers, so that's true.
That's true, but the Packers start 2 full PPR. Latavius Murray, Najee Harris, Raheem Mostert. Who did you pick out of those 2?
Well, first I said Murray and Harris, but I'm actually tempted to say Harris and Mostert now.
Yeah, Harris. I think Harris is the better pick. Let's see what he has done in our league. He's on Jordan's team.
Is he on the bench?
No, he is not on the bench. He scored 14.6 points last week. That's good. Yeah, that's pretty good.
I've had Mostert. I just dropped Mostert this week when I had to get someone new.
Did you?
He's not been doing too much compared to Eckler and Barkley.
Do you think Kenny State Trill is rich?
I sure hope so.
Or
why would he be asking these guys? These aren't on Rich's team.
Or it's Todd.
It's Todd. It's Todd.
You went with a real strange random.
All right. So
okay.
My prediction is those wins, and then I predict that the McFlurries will win next week to take the 5th position, and the Suck Stops here will beat the Hurricanes to finish 7th.
Think I'll beat Sam?
That's my prediction. I think you have a better team than Sam.
I mean, I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing, but yeah, that'll. I think I win. I think Sam wins. I think Sam. Oh man, I could see Sam squeaking out a win and beating me.
I mean, it depends
for
on
whatever reason. I would be okay taking the 5th spot. I would also. Again, this counts for nothing. It's the freaking consolation.
You're playing for pride. You're playing for pride, man.
Playing for pride in that number one, the number one waiver wire spot.
Maybe the 5th place team, the winner of the consolation, could win like VIP treatment if they visit the Sarasota airport via Rich.
True.
Don't have to check bags. None of that TS.
There
You
you
get
go.
to go right to the plane. Nice, relaxing.
That'd be real nice.
I'll take that. Well, that
Seems
brings
like
us to the playoff teams.
I'm very curious who this Kenny State Trail guy is.
It's probably just a random thing.
He has he's got an Instagram and a SoundCloud.
Make it so. All right, so the playoffs. Let's start with the 2 and 3 seed. We've got number 2 Bulldogs playing the number 3 Embrace the Suck. In the previous meetings, week 6 the Bulldogs won 137 to 106, and in week 13 the Bulldogs won 114 to 75. So the Bulldogs definitely have the edge over Embrace the Suck. Also, oddly enough, 2 of the teams that are playing, 2 of the matchups are a repeat of teams that played each other in week 6 and 13. Doesn't mean anything. Just interesting. All time, the Bulldogs and Embrace the Suck have never played each other in the playoffs. The Bulldogs have beat Josh. Todd has beat Josh 6 times, and Josh has beat Todd 4 times. It is historically Todd's best opponent, which is saying a lot with what Todd's been through.
Wow.
Playoff success, Todd is 2 and 6. His last win was last year in the second round, and Josh is 6 and 6. He last won in round 1 last year. This is Todd's first appearance in the playoffs, and Josh's 5th, if experience matters.
His first appearance in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Meanwhile, looking at their teams, I think that these are the 2 luckiest teams this year. Obviously, Embrace the Suck is the luckiest team this year, but we've looked at some stats in the past that have shown that the Bulldogs have also very much benefited from getting some weaker opponents in times.
Yeah, these are I think definitely Josh is luckier than
luckier, yeah. But they're still the 2 luckiest, I think.
Yeah, like you have to understand also that like I think Kara's team is extremely underrated. I think
Her team is probably the unluckiest.
She's probably the second best team in the NFL, and she's number 4.
I would agree.
So
what's crazy?
What's crazy just looking at these matchups though is how close they are.
Projection wise?
Yeah. The Bulldogs and Embrace the Suck are legitimately projected at 0.4 points. 0.4 point difference in the projections, which is crazy. Yeah. And now I think Todd can actually increase his a little bit. Maybe not. What is his Zeke? I mean, he could put in Metcalf over Zeke, but I don't know. I think Metcalf hasn't been doing anything, and it's against Kansas City. So,
well, here's some stuff coming up. The Bulldogs are 3 and 3 in their last 6 after a very hot start to the year. They have finished 3 and 3, a little bit on the slow side. They're only averaging 110 points over the last 7 games. But Embrace the Suck has won 4 of their last 6 and is only averaging 102 during that time. So by that standard, the Bulldogs are a little better off. The Bulldogs beat playoff teams 4 times this year and then Embrace the Suck only twice. I feel like in order for Embrace the Suck to win, they need the Bulldogs to do poorly. But the Bulldogs, more often than not lately, have been doing poorly.
Yeah.
So that just makes it really hard to pick, I think.
Yeah. It's really tough. I think Josh's team, my dad, Todd, has the better team as far as points wise. Like, I trust Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs, Miles Sanders, Christian McCaffrey much more than I do like Nick Chubb, Chris Godwin, Justin Herbert. Like, I trust Todd's team 100% more than I trust Josh's team. Yet Josh's team has been winning and Todd's has been losing lately. or coming close to losing.
Mostly because Josh has been playing bigger losers.
That's true. But I mean, like, it's just strange how, like, if Todd's team all comes up, like, if all of those guys that are play well, I think he has it completely over Josh, because I don't think
And just 2 weeks ago,
Josh can consistently play.
Just 2 weeks ago, the Bulldogs put up a 150, I think, didn't they?
Yeah.
I'm picking the Bulldogs. I just think I trust them a little more. I'm not 100% convinced, but
I agree.
Sorry, Josh.
Sorry, Josh. It's gonna be tough. I think Josh could pull a win.
Money. He certainly can, but I think, yeah, like you said, if Todd's team even just performs to their level, they should win. He's gonna Embrace the Suck is gonna need Todd's team to be like last week and really have a rough time.
Because I think actually some of the projections on Josh's side are a little bit reaching. I have a hard time believing Derrick Henry's going to score 18 points, but he has been playing better lately. I just do not see. I don't know. I just don't see Kenneth Walker scoring 13 points. Or
now you're not going to pick Josh just to try to get on the.
No, because that's.
He loves to be the underdog. Just like he was in the championship last year.
Last year. Was he an underdog in the championship last year?
Nobody lost.
But
I should go back and look at how each champion has finished the following year. I'll follow up on that.
Yeah.
Plus, teams do notoriously play poor against him. That is true.
It is.
Teams bring their F game.
Somehow. All right. Last one.
Yeah, the last time they played, the Bulldogs scored just 114. But so, yeah, the big one. We've got number 1 Polecats versus the number 4
big one.
Fergal.
And according to projections, holy crud, Kara is projected to win, which is like
I can fill in a little bit of why.
Yes,
I can fill in a little bit of why.
There has been some extremely bad luck on your end.
I actually did have myself winning, and then I switched a player to go down to losing, and I'll explain that.
Sure.
So previous meetings, week 4, the Fergals won 167 to 112, and then week 11 they swapped, and the Polecats won 165 to 103. So this year, both times these teams have played have been absolute blowouts. I don't see that happening in this game.
No.
Again, these two teams have never played in the playoffs. All time, Polecats have won 5, and Kara has won 6. Sorry, I should say Charlie, me, have won 5. Kara has won 6. The Polecats' record in the playoffs is abysmal, 5-9, and have not won a playoff game since week 1 of 2019.
The Fergals haven't?
No, me.
You haven't?
I have not won a playoff game since first round of 2019.
Yikes!
Terrible.
It's been a drought. It's been a drought.
However, Kara is 3-8 in the playoffs, with her last win coming in the first round of 2020, but she was in tank gate as well. So, well, she only half tanked.
So that was a tank gate last year, and she's technically won by.
Technically, she won yours because of the tiebreaker. So I guess she's 4-8. But I credit both of you with a loss because of what you did to me. This is my 5th playoff appearance and Kara's 4th playoff appearance. Now, the Polecats are riding a 6-game win streak, averaging 144 points a week over that time. But... big but. Jonathan Taylor, gone. DeAndre Hopkins now has a 3rd-string quarterback throwing to him. And Jalen Hurts, who has been probably the top quarterback, actually, I think, this year, is out. Just this week, probably. This week. Probably.
Yeah, they're basically just resting him because they know they don't
want
Micah
that Super
Parsons.
Bowl.
They don't want Micah Parsons like messing him up. Like
Now,
he could play.
I had, I believe, an edge. Maybe I didn't anymore. Maybe my projections have gone down. Yeah, yesterday or earlier today when I was sorting this out, there was somebody that I swapped out.
Looks like you took
was
DeAndre
I
Hopkins
took
out.
Hopkins out and put in Connor over him, but Connor has a higher projection.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, pretty much you've got your best team.
I think Lawrence's. So I went with Trevor Lawrence. I was really debating on who to put in. It does hurt. I was really debating what quarterback to put in. Do I just roll with Gardner Minshew? He hasn't played a game. I don't know that he's going to put up more than 12, 13 points.
Yeah. It's Dallas defense. They could pick him
off. Of
like
all the guys playing, and here's the crap thing. You start looking at all the available quarterbacks, and like every single one is going against some massive defense. Sucks. But I think Trevor Lawrence is probably the best quarterback there. He has done really well. The last 3 weeks, he's scored 29, 33, 16, 23. If he can get me just 20, I can stay in this. If he gets 15 or below, it's going to be hard.
What about
I considered Purdy as well, but he really hasn't scored that many points.
I was going to say, what about Purdy?
He really isn't scoring many points. He's just winning games.
Mr. Irrelevant. Yeah, he's got 53 points in 2 games.
No, 3 games.
Oh, has he been to 3 games?
Because he didn't start the one, but he finished most of it.
Oh, yeah.
I think he scored like a 15 and a 16 and a 20, maybe.
14, 21, 19.
So I just don't know that he's somebody I could trust for that. Now, Trevor Lawrence is going against the Jets, which are supposedly a very good defense. But when I was looking into it, the Jets have played some pretty crappy quarterbacks. And I'm not sure they're that great of a defense then. They've played.
Yes.
Who did I tell you they played? They've played Skylar Thompson, Brett Rypien, Trevor Siemian, and 2 times they've gotten the Mac Jones Express.
Yeah,
that's just not great quarterbacks they've had to go against. They've gone against Josh Allen twice, and they got Aaron Rodgers, who has not been great this year.
No.
So they just really, I think, been capitalizing on weak offenses for the most part. They're getting teams when they're having to start their second or third string quarterback.
Yeah.
So I'm gambling that Trevor Lawrence is going to keep this train going. And if he can put up a 25, I'm going to feel really confident about my chances to win. Because I think James Conner will be okay. I think James Conner is going to get leaned on heavily with a third string quarterback. I think he's going to be running a lot, and he's going to be the guys just like dump off for lots of receptions, hopefully. That's the goal. And then without Hopkins, who did I replace Hopkins with? Oh, Pittman. I put Pittman back in. Hopefully Matt Ryan keeps starting. As bad as the Colts are, when Matt Ryan is in, Pittman is a legitimate starter.
Yeah.
A couple games.
Were they thinking about benching Matt Ryan?
They did terrible. I can't imagine that they're going to do. I haven't heard any more about that. I just on one of the sites was like, oh, as long as Matt Ryan stays in, Pittman's. I don't know who to pick here.
This is fun, man. This is a fun little matchup.
Yeah, we're all having fun, aren't we? Great time. So the Fergals now. The Fergals have won 5 out of 7, averaging 126. Again, these are the 2 best teams right now. I don't care what records say. These are the 2 best teams. This should be the championship game this year because the Fergals have had some bad luck at the wrong times to lose.
Yeah.
But they're easily the second best team, and they're the only other team that really is scoring a ton of points on a regular basis. They have 4 games over 130, but 2 games under 105 in the last 7. So again, which Fergals are going to show up a little bit?
Yeah.
They have some pretty favorable matchups, though, her players, I think.
Yep. Patrick Mahomes versus Seattle.
You got Devontae Adams against Pittsburgh.
T. Higgins versus the games have officially begun.
Yeah, Jefferson against the Giants. San Francisco against Washington. I think our defense is going to do great.
And I mean, you got if ETN decides to if they run the ball all over the Jets, and Trevor Lawrence isn't able to pass, and it could mean that she'll take points away from you. Some might say Embrace the Suck has had some bad luck at the wrong time too.
No. Embrace the Suck has had no bad luck.
Josh, you had zero bad luck. Some may say that.
Yeah, Rich
and you may say that. No one else is saying
the only time you've lost is when the other team has just played the way they should.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really hoping the Denver defense shows up against the Rams. I'm hoping on that because my Dallas defense against the Eagles I didn't think was going to be great. And then I had the Patriots potentially against, I think, Cincinnati, which I didn't think was going to be great either. So I'm hoping that does well. I'm picking the Polecats because they're me. And I want them to win very badly. Andrea would like them to win very badly because this season comes down to me losing in the first round of the playoffs. She's not going to be a happy person either. So what can I say? I think that it's too soon for Kara to give up on tanking as a strategy.
Ooh, hey.
Go ahead and bench him.
ETN just got 4 rush yards, so he's 0.4.
Hey,
so
spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Increased your odds, and actually you drop. According to the projections, Lawrence now dropped to 16.8
because he dropped the ball. Because he ran the ball once. Come on now.
As they ran the ball.
We'll see. I'm a little worried because it's raining, so I'm worried that they're gonna just run a lot. But I don't know. We'll see. What else could I do? It's a crapshoot.
Yeah.
Who are you picking? You going with the Fergals?
I gotta pick the Fergals because I actually do think they have a shot. And mainly because I need to catch up on you with the picks.
They definitely have a shot. So here's my predictions.
Trevor Lawrence just lost a fumble. -2 points. Sorry. I'll stop.
Who am I playing this?
Sorry, I'm done. What's up, Chuck? Did you freeze? No, you're blinking. Sorry. I'm sorry.
You know what though? Jalen Hurts had two interceptions last week, and then he still put up a 36.
And honestly, him losing the fumble means ETN can't get any more points.
This is the strategy. This is the way.
That's the strategy.
It's still early. They're not going to bench him.
Yeah.
So here's what I have. Right now, I have Polecats winning and the Bulldogs winning, and then the Polecats beating the Bulldogs for the championship and the Fergals winning for third place. But I could very easily see the Fergals winning and then going on to beat the Bulldogs for the championship. And if I lose, I think I still win next week over Josh for third.
Oh yeah, for sure. If you lose, you're almost automatic. Yeah, I was gonna say if you lose, you're almost automatically guaranteed third place.
The playoffs come to the Polecats. Yeah.
Okay, Josh, just so you're aware, if you look back into history, Chuck has a very rich history of success and winning. I think there was like 3 years where like he was on top or near top like the entire time. Like
there was some good
Chuck has a large trophy case of he's like the Packers though, where it was like early way back in history, nothing recent.
Before there really were championships.
Yeah, before there was a real Super Bowl.
There's one last thing I want to point out here at the end here.
Yeah.
I went back and I was like, okay, how have top seeds fared in our history? So last year, Jordan was a top seed and he won the championship from the top seed position. 2020, Dave was the top seed and finished third. And the champion that year originally was the second seed. In 2019, Josh was the first seed and finished third, with the fourth seed pulling off the championship. In 2018, Sam was the first seed and finished fourth. With the
Oh,
third
no.
seed. 2017, Jordan was the first seed and finished third with the 2 seed. And finally, in 2016, DD's Dynasty was the first seed and won the championship.
Okay. And
So,
I don't even know who DD's
in general,
Dynasty
the
was.
first seed, more often than not, loses the first round and wins the second round for third, which is not good company to be in.
You gotta break the.
You got to peak at the right time. But we will see. We will see.
Yeah.
That's what I have to say about these games. It was a lot.
Yeah. No, it was good. I mean, this is gonna be a fun.
I'm
playoffs.
worried. I am worried that this week will be more exciting than next week.
It probably will be.
But we'll see.
If
I lose, I'm not coming on the pod next week, and that's all. I won't be in a mental position to do that.
Just crying.
Well, how about 4th and goal?
4th and goal. You know,
have a
I
football
didn't.
thought? Other than Trevor Lawrence getting a fumble.
Lawrence getting a fumble. No, you know what? I didn't watch a lot of. I was at the game. I was at the Packer game this week.
Oh, that was a good game to be at.
Packers didn't play terribly well, but it was a fun game regardless.
Hey, they won pretty well.
Yeah, they didn't play particularly well, but Josh will co-host if you can't make it. We will have to have you on, Josh. Probably maybe next week. Maybe next week if you're available.
We gotta have We gotta have people from the championship game next week.
Oh yeah, you're right. Well, maybe it is Josh. Who knows? But I doubt if my dad is in the championship. I don't know if. Well, maybe he would.
Maybe he can call in.
He'll call in. No. Man, I don't know.
You don't have to.
I have no idea about the Super Bowl. Honestly, I get there's so many teams that it's just so up in the air.
It's easy to say Eagles versus Bills or Chiefs.
Yeah, but they also have their moments where they decide that they don't want to play well. I don't think the Vikings are going to do much. I don't think the Cowboys are going to do much. They just do not seem like teams that.
I think Tampa Tom is going to get sneaking in.
Man, if he does, I'm going to
retire a champion.
If he does, I don't want to be a football fan.
No, me either.
Tom Brady needs to go away. He's a good player, but man, oh man. I'm sure.
No, though.
Yeah, it's true. But
well, I'll give you. I do have a thought. The 33-point comeback from the Vikings.
Yeah,
I wish I would have watched it. The Colts now, by the way, have given up the biggest comeback ever and the most points in the fourth quarter ever. I think the biggest thing to take away from the biggest comeback is that now the largest comeback in regular season history and the largest comeback in Super Bowl history have both featured Matt Ryan on the losing side.
Yeah. Yeah, he does not have a very good legacy.
I guess no matter what happens to the Polecats in these playoffs, I'm not Matt Ryan.
You are not Ryan. Does anybody have Matt Ryan? That would be funny. But I don't think so. I don't think anybody starts him if they do.
I doubt it.
But
so we'll see. Yeah, I think the Packers have a shot this week against the Dolphins, actually, because the Dolphins have not been that hot lately.
No.
And it would be just like the Packers to give us this hope.
Yeah, it would be very Packers to run the table, make it to the playoffs, and then
here's what
in some horrifying fashion to a terrible team.
We need to win out, and we need the Seahawks to lose a game, and we need the Commanders to lose 2 more games.
Yeah. Actually, I read an article that if the Commanders lose this week, the Packers can still lose.
Well, technically, yes. The Packers can lose and then win out with the Commanders losing 3 games and still get in. But the Commanders would have to lose out
Oh, okay.
to do that. So we can still spot them a win, which they're probably going to lose this week against the Niners.
Yes.
If the Seahawks lose this week and we win and they lose, then all we need to do is win 2 games while the Commanders lose 1. And that's a lot more achievable. But I don't know. We got to play the Vikings still. And the Lions, who've been very hot.
Yeah.
But they're both in Green Bay at least. So
yeah, in the winter.
We'll see. But I could see just pulling us back into hoping for the playoffs in time to be squashed. Because I was very happy with no playoff expectations at this point. It was like, I'm just going to ride out the season, see what happens with all the other teams.
I was
Now
actually
I'm
kind of
getting to this.
I was kind of excited to see what Jordan Love could do and to bench
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers because
we need to be out for them to start him for sure.
Yeah, it basically needs to end. Like the Packers would have to lose and then be losing pretty badly against the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah. I guess technically even us losing this week doesn't eliminate us as long as the Commanders lose.
Yeah.
So I guess no matter what, we're going to see Aaron Rodgers against the Vikings.
Probably. But
obviously at that point, we could possibly see him against the Lions, who would be probably playing very hard in their last week because they also will need help to get in. But
yeah.
Well, good luck to everybody in the playoffs this week. We will see how it goes. Some big action for sure.
Yeah, we will have to. I'm very excited to watch this week's matchups. I think it'll be very good.
I'm very anxious.
Yeah, this is interesting. It's really interesting.
I'm gonna be very upset if I lose because how bad things started here. We've got negative 1.42 against 3.10 right now, so that's pretty good. We're off to a good start.
Yeah, you guys, it'll be again. This first game means nothing because like all your heavy hitters, ETN's a heavy hitter for her. So if he doesn't,
I think my quarterback is going to count as a heavy hitter if he gives me like a 10.
I'll be in
trouble.
Yeah, but
we'll see.
See if you can convince Kara to put Clyde Edwards-Helaire in.
She did ride him for longer than she should have.
He's on IR right now. No, but yeah. Good luck, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Be on the lookout for some award show news coming up. We'll tell you when we're going to do that stream, probably after the season, but
definitely going to be talking with the 5th seed, the 5th place team too.
The 5th place team. So whoever's 5th place, we'll try to get everybody a chance to be a guest. So
I'm going to try hard to not embrace that suck this week.
No, Josh. All right. See you guys.
Stay safe out